the management of Femi Walsh, owners of Sook News Television and the Al 95.9 FM, extends its deepest sympathies to the family, friends, and associates of Nigeria's former president, Muhammadu Buhari. We join the nation in celebrating the life of a leader who played a defining role in Nigeria's history, both as a military head of state and as a democratically elected president.
Gentlemen, as has already been announced, the Supreme Military Council met yesterday and after an exhaustive deliberation approved your appointments as military governors for the 19 states of the Federation. Your choice for this assignment is based mainly on your personal merit and the confidence which the members of the Supreme Military Council have in your ability to discharge the responsibilities of a military governor in the best interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and without fear or favor, affection or ill will, in accordance with the oath which you have just taken.
Community for the concerted response to COVID-19. The solidarity and the drive to contain the first truly global health emergency of our time is a pointer to the many things we can achieve if we work together. On our part, Nigeria has made strenuous efforts to contain the virus and hold its deadly onslaught on our people. Our efforts have been rewarded with moderate success. At the outset, we recognize detection and contact tracing to be important tools in combating the virus. In this connection, from a mere 4 laboratories with testing and detection capacities, we ramped up the facilities to over 140 centers today. Similarly, we built isolation centers and emergency hospitals wards in record time all over the country. We carry out genomic sequencing in designated laboratories across the country with a view to detecting variants in circulation.
At this solemn moment, we honor his service, reflect on his legacy, and pray for strength and comfort for those he leaves behind. From all of us at Femi Walsh Limited, may his soul rest in peace.
Being a critical instrument of national unity, cohesion, and integration. We look forward to better days ahead.
He was a man of few words, but of firm convictions. A soldier turned statesman whose presence in Nigeria's political and historical narrative spanned over 5 decades. From the rugged terrain of Daura to the grandeur of Aso Rock, Muhammadu Buhari's life was marked by discipline, duty, and a dogged commitment to national service. Born on December 17, 1942 in Daura, Katsina State, Muhammadu Buhari came of age in a young Nigeria still finding its identity. He joined the Nigerian army at the age of 19, embarking on a military career that would shape his worldview and leadership style. From the Nigerian Military Training College in Kaduna to advanced training in India, the UK, and the US, Buhari rose through the ranks with discipline and precision. He played active roles in the Nigerian Civil War and later held key command positions. In 1983, at the age of 41, he emerged as Nigeria's military head of state after a coup that cited corruption and national decay as justifications. His 20-month military regime, 1983 to 1985, was defined by a crusade for order, the War Against Indiscipline, WAI. It was controversial yet unforgettable. Queues, punctuality, and national ethos became central themes of national life. His administration clamped down on corrupt officials and introduced austerity measures amid a challenging economic backdrop. But as rigid as the regime appeared, it laid bare Buhari's ideology, a no-nonsense leader who believed national development could not thrive on indiscipline or excess. After his ousting in 1985, Buhari went quiet, but not forgotten. In 2003, he returned, not with tanks, but with ballots. He contested Nigeria's presidency 3 times and lost, but with each attempt, his popularity grew, particularly in the north. In 2015, at the age of 72, he made history. Muhammadu Buhari became the first opposition candidate to defeat an incumbent president in Nigeria's democratic history, a moment of national rebirth. Hope transition. President Buhari's administration spanned 2 terms, 8 years of trials and triumphs. His government focused on 3 pillars: security, anti-corruption, and economic revival. He expanded Nigeria's railway network, the Abuja-Kaduna, Lagos-Ibadan, and Warri-Itakpe lines. Major infrastructure projects, including the long-awaited Second Niger Bridge, became realities. He launched social investment programs like NPower and Trader Money, designed to empower the poor and unemployed. On anti-corruption, he revived dormant cases, strengthened the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and repatriated looted funds from abroad. On agriculture, the Anchor Borers program revived rice and local grain production. But security remained a daunting challenge. Boko Haram, banditry, and farmer header crisis. His government wrestled with an evolving threat landscape, navigating global and regional dynamics. Whether admired or criticized, Muhammadu Buhari remained consistent. In his 2015 inaugural speech, he declared, "I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody," a phrase that would define the tone of his presidency.
I intend to keep my oath and serve as president to all Nigerians. I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
He was not a perfect leader. No leader ever is, but he was purposeful. A patriot, a man of few indulgences, who even in retirement preferred a quiet life in his home in DAURA. In the history of Nigeria's journey, Buhari's chapter is long and layered. He is remembered as a bridge between Nigeria's military past and democratic future, a man who served with both command and conviction. His critics acknowledged his sincerity. His supporters saw him a symbol of incorruptibility. As Nigeria moves forward, the memory of Muhammadu Buhari endures, not just in marble, policy, or power, but in history, in governance, in the fabric of a nation that continues to evolve. Soldier, statesman, servant, Muhammadu Buhari's watch has ended, but his imprint remains. Grace Komolafe, Souk News TV.
Gentlemen, as has already been announced, the Supreme Military Council met yesterday and after an exhaustive deliberation approved your appointments as military governors for the 19 states of the Federation. Your choice for this assignment is based mainly on your personal merit and the confidence fraud, indiscipline, corruption, squanderment.